1010 XL 92.5 FM.
All right, welcome in. It's our Thursday time. We're 2 to 4 on Thursdays in football season, as you know. Frangie, Hayes Carli, and JJ LaSelva with you. A lot of football to talk about, and also deadline day for the hardball fans. Been quiet until today, but it's gotten revved up a little, I would say. JJ, would you agree?
I've been working. I wasn't aware that Mason Miller just got traded a couple hours ago. That's a big one.
Mason Miller,
San Diego,
throws about 103. He is one of the better closers in the game. A lot of closers were available. A lot of closers moved now at the deadline. So he goes to Mason Miller goes to San Diego. San Diego. I'll give them credit. They're trying to win the World Series. They've been around it for a while. You know, they've flirted with it. I mean, they
always make a move around this time.
They do.
You know, Machado, the Sotos, they're
Correct.
going for. I don't know. Have they ever even won a World Series? I don't think they have.
The Padres have never won one.
I don't think they've won a World Series game.
Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah, they got swept by the Yankees.
Yeah. The Gwynn Padres got swept.
That's right.
And I think that's their only appearance, although I could be wrong.
Yeah, so they have not won a World. In what year did they go? In
98?
Yeah.
Okay, so in 84 they lost to the Cubs, I guess. When Garvey was there. They were in the NLCS, but they probably lost. So
84 and 98.
Yeah, okay. So 84. Okay, 84 they did go. Okay, so yeah, 84 they played the Cubs.
Oh, well, then they probably have won a game in the World Series.
So they played the Cubs.
They just didn't the last time they were there.
So in 84, I remember that was when they beat the Cubs. That was that really good Cubs team we all talk about. So in the NLCS. But yeah, they've got. I mean, the Soto's not there anymore, obviously, but Tatis Jr.'s there, Machado's there. They have a good team. So they're saying if ever we're gonna go win it, now let's go win it. So we'll see what happens. So interesting stuff. All right, Jaguars practice today. It was a good light practice ahead of what could be a pretty fun scrimmage, a pretty spirited scrimmage tomorrow. I think you asked a question yesterday. Will it feel like a game? Liam's referred to it as a mock game. For what I'm being told, it will be a game. It'll be there. A lot of it will be competition, scoreboards. You know, I think they'll announce. I think I got a pretty good idea how they're going to do it because we're going to broadcast it. Mm-hmm. I'll let them announce how they're going to do it. But I think you're going to see a lot of starters together for a long time. That's kind of really what you were asking, right?
Yeah.
Is it it's not drills? Is it going to be the ones are always together, the twos are? I think you're going to see that tomorrow night. So more reason for people to go if you want to see some football.
Without a doubt, offensive coordinator Grant Udisky met with reporters after practice today, and he talked a little bit about it and said, we want to see our offense come off the field, have to make some adjustments, or at least talk to each other. And kind of regroup or talk about what we did right, and then get back out there. So it makes it sound like they want it to be, similar to situations of, an offensive possession ends. You go to the sideline, you look at some film, you make an adjustment or two, and then you get back out there and try and apply those things to the next series. So that's a game. I mean, that'd be the closest thing to a mock game that we've had in a decade. And
what I'm being told is that's what it's going to be. Even before Udinski talked, the word is it's going to be that. Now it's not necessarily ones-on-ones. We'll see if that's what it is, but I do think it'll be groups together. And so again, they'll announce.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be, to your point, like I think the other indication that it's going to be more formal than what it normally is I don't think they're going to do any sort of traditionally we've been able to do like one-on-ones after the scrimmage on the field, and I don't think they're going to do that this year, which makes sense because you don't do that in the regular season.
It's more like a game.
So I think I think media-wise it's going to be more like a traditional, be up in the press box, and you won't go on the field. You'll just go down to the team meeting room to hear from Liam Cohen, after it's over. So it does feel like for every party involved, it feels like it's going to be more game than it does just, hey, we're just practicing, we're just moving it to the stadium.
Yeah, so it'll be fun to watch, and we'll certainly all be kind of locked in. So I'm looking forward to that as well. All right, so we'll talk some Jaguar football today. We'll load up the show for you today. We've got a golf update. Lee Smith, our golf analyst, always here on a Thursday. We'll be here at 2:40 today by phone. And then Lee will start until we're through the Ryder Cup. Lee will be coming Thursdays at 3. Greg McGarity, our friend from the Gator Bowl, will do our Gator Bowl college football report. That'll be at 2:40 on Thursdays. And then Lee will be right after him. So in this 2 to 4 slot, once we get into the bulk of football season, Greg McGarity at 2:40, Lee Smith at 3 o'clock. So we'll have a lot of some diversity of topic. But Lee Smith today at 2:40, so it'll be fun talking a little bit of golf with him as we get closer and closer to the Tour Championship, as we get closer and closer to the end of the season, and closer and closer to the Ryder Cup, which is exciting. So a lot of fun stuff as we end the season today. Is there a football game tonight?
There is. Lions are a 2-point favorite. I'm putting a ton of money on this one.
You telling me tonight I get Barry Sanders versus Lance Allworth? Is that what I get?
Or Tomlinson.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good run.
Barry Sanders, Sanders, LaDainian Tomlinson. You're younger than me, so you probably don't even know who Lance Allworth is.
No, I know.
Okay, so but that's tonight, huh?
Yeah. It's the weirdest sporting event of the year because, and I mean, it's like you get so excited, like the 10, 15 minutes before kick when the broadcast is going and the pregame, and you're seeing the players sort of warming up, and you're seeing the announcers that you love seeing, and it's like, oh wow, it's here. I'm so fired up, and then the game starts, and obviously, no one's going to play of consequence. So then it's sort of a letdown. I don't know that we have anything else on the sports calendar throughout the year that gets you maybe as fired up as that. Just those 10 minutes right before the game actually starts, we're like, man, it's back. This is so great. And then it's like, but then it kind of loses the luster very, very
Unless
quickly.
it's when we were up there for Tony a few years ago and you get the storm of all storms.
That's right.
Remember the storm?
Yeah.
We're calling the game, and all of a sudden the storm of all, we could see it coming in. Mm-hmm. We could see it on its way in. I was trying to think of things.
What was that, like a hour and 10-minute delay?
Something like that, yeah. Big storm. I was trying to think of the funkiest things we've seen from the press box. I know we, in Kansas City, whenever we played up there most recently, there was a car on fire that we could see from the press box.
Oh, wow.
Like, car was on fire.
Yeah, because in Arrowhead, you're up really.
And you can see that road.
Yeah.
You see that road where all the cars. And there was a car parked not in the parking lot. It was on fire. I looked at Logman and I said, is that car on fire? He goes, yeah, looks like it is. And then next thing you know, all the sirens come in, and the firemen came and blew it out. But
sometimes you'll hear at a game, like the PA guy will say, like, hey, if a car has been, beeping or whatever. Right. But I've never heard, hey, we have a red Toyota on fire.
Right.
You might want to check that out.
And it was on fire. I mean, it wasn't a little flame. It was on fire. Oh. And we're all watching. It was before the game started, and the fire department came.
Yeah.
Had 2 or 3 trucks, and it
was probably the most entertaining part of that game.
Might have been. Well, now that you say that, you know what? It didn't have a lot of competition that day, as I remember. So you're exactly right about that. All right, other things we'll talk about. In a minute, we're going to hear from Trayvon Walker. It's interesting. Trayvon was the first pick overall, and nationally, the narrative nationally. The national narrative is that he shouldn't have been the first pick, that Aiden Hutchinson should have, and Aiden Hutchinson's a better sack specialist, and blah, blah, blah. And Trayvon's had to hear that the whole time. And a reality that has grown through the narrative is that whereas he might not ever be as natural an exterior pass rusher as Aiden Hutchinson is, he's rounding into a pretty good player. Big, physical, tough against the run, double-digit sack seasons back-to-back. So he's rounding into a damn good player. The question is, will he ever get his due if every year Aiden Hutchinson has more sacks than him? Is that fair? That's kind of the narrative, isn't it?
It's absolutely the narrative. It's where this could be headed. I mean, I think you could be headed to a reality where Trayvon Walker is an A player in the NFL, but Aiden Hutchinson is an A+ player, and therefore there will always be that that element that Trayvon Walker is going to have to deal with. But I'll say this for Trayvon Walker. I did not know about this stat, but the Jaguars PR had it in their player notes for Trayvon Walker. In his past 20 games, Trayvon Walker has 14.5 sacks. So if you go back to the last 20 games of the NFL season, Trayvon's 14.5 sacks, that's tied for 4th in the NFL.
How about that?
So his last year
that is
and
a great
half,
stat.
He is an elite sack artist. So and again, that's where I think his career is headed. I think he is going to be a fantastic player, and I do think that the Hutchinson thing I think will always be there to a degree, but I think as time goes on, it'll be more of a fun footnote than it will be something damning that the Jaguars did.
Because they're both good players. It'll be a footnote if they're both good players.
Right.
If they're both really good players, it's insignificant if one has marginally more sacks than the other. That's what you're saying. I'll tell you the one thing that could certainly quiet some of that, have the one big sack season. Have the 15 sack season. Have the 14.5 sack season, the 16 sack season, because they're out there.
He's capable.
There's no question.
He looks great.
Yeah, he does look good, doesn't he? And I'll say this too about Trayvon Walker. You remembered it. You have a good memory. You remembered this one time before, but I was talking to Kirby at the SEC Media Days, and I asked him about Trayvon when Trayvon had just gotten here, and he told the story. And again, I heard you retell it recently, so you know the story, Hayes, about it's the day before the draft. And Kirby's in his office. And by now you think the hay's in the barn for all these potential draft picks. And he looks down there, and there's Trayvon grinding, pushing a sled, battling, scrapping, and clawing. One day before the draft. He wasn't going to impress anybody at that point. That wasn't, he wasn't putting on airs. He was just trying to get in shape. And that led to the conversation about what a hard worker he is. And I like this about Trayvon. You know what? He's no frills. He's not a big talker. He's not quiet. He's not loud. He's just a regular guy that he's not real caught up in what Aiden Hutchinson does or doesn't do. He's a good teammate. He just goes out there, he busts his butt, he gets the job done, game's over, takes a shower, goes home, comes back the next day, does it again. I mean, he's really that blue collar guy, isn't he? And again, we're going to hear from him in a minute. Then you talk to him, but the more I'm around him, the more I'm reminded of that. I think
he absolutely is. It's a unique characteristic about this franchise as it sets up right now, because almost like all their quote stars, but all their stars are like that, are incredibly humble men. I mean, you think of Josh Hines Allen, very humble, very grounded, excellent family man, great ambassador for the city and for the organization. Obviously, you can say the same thing about Trevor Lawrence, Brian Thomas Jr., Trayvon Walker. Travis Hunter certainly seems like that's the mentality that he has. Just very humble, just wants to play football and wants to be the best that he can be. It's hopefully it will lead to wins, because I don't think you're not going to get a full appreciation of that until these guys are hanging banners. And once that happens, I don't think it's going to change them, though. If they are able to collectively experience that elite level of success and it becomes a consistent thing, that will be something that really stands out about the star power of this organization. They are all really humble guys, hardworking guys, and certainly Trayvon Walker is richly deserving to be mentioned in that group.
Yeah, so it'll be fun. It'll be fun to watch. A lot of things to talk about today on the program. By the way, I have to tell you, in continuation of my conversation yesterday, I finished the Billy Joel documentary.
Oh yeah,
you got to watch it, bro.
Okay,
I mean, it's over 5 hours, and so I don't know how people that do documentaries and the Netflix people, and in this case the HBO Max people, decide it. I probably would have done a 5-part series, because it could have been 5 hours of, I couldn't wait, because if it had been 5 hours, you couldn't wait for the next hour and the next hour. So, but they did it in 2, but it is so well produced. I mean, it won't move the needle the same way, but it is not entirely different than the Michael Jordan one.
Oh wow,
yeah, I know. And what was it called again?
Last Dance.
The Last Dance was how many episodes?
10.
Was it? I can't remember.
But they were all about an hour, right? Mm-hmm. They were all about an hour. So it was about 10 hours, give or take. And it was, and again, he's not
Maybe it was like 2 hours.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But I think if you'd have broken it down that way, and it's funny, I didn't hear a lot about it. Someone just, I think I saw Colin Cowherd tweet about it. And then I heard people talk. And then some of my buddies that are my age and similar musical tastes have sent me texts about it. But I'm telling you, it is just fantastic. I mean, it is really, and it tells stories I didn't even know. It tells stories that, he and Elton did the tour together for 15 years. Mm-hmm. But, Billy was always in.
Wow.
15 years. They did 15 years of tours together. I mean, and on and off. and at first they were rivals because they were the two piano playing rock guys. Then they worked out together forever and then it ended. And and Billy was always in and out of rehab. Till the one time Elton John, I didn't know any of this. Elton John said in Time Magazine or Newsweek or one of them, and maybe People, big expose, Billy needs to get help. Billy's a good man that has never been able to get his addiction under control.
What was his addiction? Drugs or alcohol?
Alcohol.
Okay.
No, he was a drinker. And so, but he went to AA, but he said he's never been able to get his drinking under control. Well, that pissed off Billy.
Yeah.
So they had a big falling out. Yeah, I think they've patched up now.
Just recently, I think.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But big. I didn't know that.
I
story.
didn't either.
Yeah.
But that is a very interesting
Yeah,
story.
and by the way, so I got to right at the end. You got to wife number 4. Okay, he made it. And God bless him. I didn't know this. So wife number 4, he married her when he was 66. She was 33. Okay.
God bless him.
God bless him. Well, see, I'm 66. Unfortunately, I'm very happily married because if not, the key would be to look for the 33-year-old.
Right.
I now know that. Okay.
Yeah.
But he married and had 2 kids. So after marrying her, 66 and 33, they had 2 kids together.
Wow.
So
he's got a couple of young ones.
He's got 2 very little kids. He's 76 now.
Yeah.
So he's got a 10 and an 8 or something like that. Yeah. So anyway. But anyway, it was
And look at me as a 35-year-old trying to rush this.
Yeah.
But I could have kids at 70.
That's right.
But I'm just telling you got to go watch it.
I will.
I mean, it's really, again, it's long. It's really long and detailed. So if you get bored with documentaries, you might. I
love that stuff. I love tedious is too strong, but I love thorough storytelling from all angles. There's nothing more frustrating with a documentary than it's like, well, what about this person's perspective? If you're going to say this.
Right. Oh, that's got all of them.
Yeah. So that, and the Jordan thing was immaculately done in the same fashion. Even with people that were rivals of his. Right. The key is you've got to get people to talk that may not be saying the most glowing things, but they give you the full picture.
Well, here's one, but the Jordan thing never had Juanita, his first wife, in it. Man, did you notice she was never in it? Billy got all 4 of them in it.
Oh, wow.
All 4 wives were in this thing.
That's awesome.
But it was, and so the story, so he and Christy Brinkley were married for 10 years and split, but like and I didn't know that they're like best friends. I mean, he's the godfather of the children she had after.
Wow.
I mean,
that's
how they were. I think she might have been in the wedding when he remarried after. Wow. I mean, it's just bizarre. There's more bizarre stories in this thing. So anyway, you got to watch it. So I'll quit going on about the Billy Joel documentary, but it's really that good. Let's take a break. Let's keep it on the Jaguars when we come back. Trayvon Walker, will he be the great player that he can be? Hayes and I both kind of think he will. Hayes caught up with the former Georgia Bulldog. That's after this. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Connect with 1010XL.
On the line, online, with your friends. Now everyone's exchanging ideas.
Find 1010XL on your social channels.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Lauren Brooks here from Helmets and Heels. Circa Resort and Casino has 2 epic pro football contests, Circa Million and Circa Survivor. Circa Million, pick 5 games weekly against the spread for $1 million grand prize. Circa Survivor, 1 pick a week, no spread. Last one standing wins $15 million. Enter at any Circa in Nevada, play anywhere. Sign up for either and get 50% off a 2-night stay. Helmets and Heels will be live from Circa in Vegas on August 22nd. Full contest details at circasports.com and the 1010XL homepage.
You wouldn't drive your car 50,000 miles without an oil change, so why are you ignoring your septic tank? Septic tanks need to be pumped every 3 to 5 years. Call 904-862-6769 to schedule your septic pump out with the pros at Duck Duck Rooter.
A Attention men and women. If you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry and receive a free hair and scalp examination and get 2 weeks of laser treatments for free. Call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Hairforme.com.
Joe Coward, Matt Hayes, and Leon Searcy are serving up your daily dose of sports talk specials from scratch.
I didn't know you could.
XL Primetime is driven by Duval Ford.
These are delicious.
Noon to 2 weekdays on 1010XL.
The 2025 NFL season is just around the corner, and we can't wait for you to be back at the bank. Your Jacksonville Jaguars are starting off the preseason going head-to-head with the Pittsburgh Steelers Saturday, August 9th. Be at the bank as the Jags take the field for the first time this season and grab your tickets for a 7 p.m. kickoff by going to jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We'll see you soon, Jags fans.
Chelsea here. Summer is sizzling and so are the savings at Renewal by Anderson. For a limited time, buy 4 windows in our patio doors and receive the 5th free. Plus enjoy 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months. As temperatures rise, so do energy bills. Upgrade to Renewal by Anderson's exclusive Fibrix windows. 2 times stronger than vinyl, remarkably energy efficient, and custom crafted to perfectly fit. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation today. Restrictions apply. License number CGC 1527613.
If your ride is making strange noises, don't wait and make it work. Come to Action Transmission on Merrill Road. My expert technicians can diagnose the problem and likely fix it fast. Experience the difference at Action Transmission on Merrill Road.
For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
Your doctor says your testosterone is normal. Normal for who? Beta males? That's where those lab ranges come from. Male Excel uses optimal levels, where you were at 25, not where outdated mainstream medicine thinks you should be. Our protocol is different. Daily dosing, multiple hormones, personalized to your body, not some insurance company's spreadsheet. This is precision medicine, not sick care. Try MaleExcel.com, free test. Stop being normal. Start being optimal.
This is Mike Lynch, PGA golf professional. Take it from me. If you're dealing with an orthopedic issue, talk to the doctors at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where you're treated like a pro.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where athletes are treated like pros. Thanks to all of you who have allowed us to be part of your recovery. Call us at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists if you ever have a need.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Tomorrow only, get cash for your precious metals, gold, silver, watches, and jewelry. Everything gets a look. Stop by the Roadshow USA buying event at the Spring Hill Suites on Bay Meadows Road. Mention 1010XL and get 20% extra.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Stanley Pools Thursday on The Frangie Show. Since 1988, the experts in pools, pavers, screen enclosures, it's Stanley Pools.
We sure appreciate our friends from Stanley Pools. 904-269-7277. That's the number I called when I wanted to build a pool, which they did, renovate a pool, which they did, add a wall and lights and all kind of fixtures in my backyard, which they did, and now service in my pool, which they do. Since 1988, the pool company in Jacksonville, and I've been talking about them forever. My friends at Stanley Pool, my buddy Greg Stanley and his whole team out there, they really do an outstanding job. The former Georgia Bulldog, Trayvon Walker, was the first pick in the draft. You know that by now. Had to learn to be an NFL pass rusher, had to develop pass rush skills, and slowly but surely has really been that. He's always been a good football player, always tough, always certainly held the edge, certainly was a good run defender, and now he's a really complete defensive lineman in the NFL. Back-to-back 10-sack seasons, and the subject of this Hayes Carlyon one-on-one.
We are pleased to be joined with standout Jaguars defensive end Trayvon Walker. Man, it's great to see you. How you doing?
Can't complain. How about you?
I'm doing great. I'm glad to talk to you. It's been a while. Everything going your way?
Sir, can't complain. We're back out here on the field. That's all you can ask for. Another opportunity. Still living, breathing, family good. That's all that matters.
That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. How was your off season?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Can't complain.
Good. You excited to be in the stadium tomorrow night in front of the fans?
Most definitely. It's always a pleasure to get in front of the fans. Obviously, to get into the stadium, just kind of get the flow of how the game flow is going to go, and I'm definitely ready for it.
I saw this stat the other day. In the last 20 games that you've played, you have 14.5 sacks, which would tie for fourth in the NFL in that span. How have you been able to develop that part of your game and become such a lethal pass rusher at this level?
Me personally, I just say continuously strive to be better 1% every day. I can't live in the past regardless of what I did in the past. I just have to come into this next day with a growth mindset, and I feel like that's what's continuously helped me grow in my game and just try to be consistent every day.
How are you feeling about your conditioning?
I'm feeling pretty good. Like I say, obviously it's still going to be some work. It's camp. You're going to get tired. If you're not getting tired, then you're not pushing yourself hard enough. So that's how I feel. That's how I look at it. But by the time game time comes, I feel like I'll be in great shape.
It seems like you're a constant disrupting force through this first week of training camp, Trayvon. How do you feel like it's gone for you?
I feel like it's going pretty good. Obviously, I've had a couple of mental errors and things of that nature. Like nobody's perfect, but like I say, as long as you're out there flying around making plays, at the end of the day, you got to make plays in this league, and that's what matters. But I really do want to help put my teammates in the best position to make plays as well. So I want to come out every day and do my job first.
What were the Iron Jaguar games like for you?
Man, Iron Jaguar games was fun. It definitely brought a little bit of that. It definitely brought a little edge out of everybody. Just the competing aspect. Obviously, we didn't have on pass or anything, but we just working out, doing conditioning drills and things of that nature. But also, you still want to compete with the guy next to you to help him get better as well.
What's the difference? What makes Liam Cohen's program unique for you guys?
Man, Liam, it's just the attitude that they bring in the building every day. I feel like that's going to be something that helps carry us on to the edge. And like one of the first team meetings that we came back he mentioned just what is our edge, finding our edge to help us get to that next level. Like we know we have we have a young team. First of all, we have a lot of great players. It's just how we're going to get to that next step of being great, being consistent. And that's our main focus, having that edge to come in every day and do what we're supposed to do the right way.
What's your confidence in terms of stopping the run with Campanelli's scheme? Walker Little, I was talking to him a few days ago, and he said it's really impressive. It creates a lot of issues for the offensive line in terms of the scheme that you guys are running. What has stood out to you about what Campanelli likes to do in terms of stopping the run?
Man, we can do a lot of different things from a lot of different fronts. So I feel like with that variation, we can always keep teams on their toes. Like they just once we're in this front, they can't say, "Oh, we're only doing this in this front." We can run some of everything out of every front. So I feel like that's something that helps the defense disguise a lot more and be able to hit home if we want to send pressure or not. It might look like we're sending pressure, but we're not.
You're going into your fourth year. You've been around some coaches. Would you be able to tell at this point if a coach maybe isn't on par with where he needs to be, or does that have to come in the regular season?
Me personally, I don't like to look at it as coaches or whatever. At the end of the day, it's our job to go out there and make plays. The only thing the coach can do is try to help put us in better positions to make plays. But I'm not looking at the coach to, you know what I'm saying? I'm not doing that. It's on us to go out there and make plays.
Josh Hines-Allen, obviously, has been very open about his son Wesley recovering. What's it been like for you being teammates with Josh and obviously having such a close role with him on the field?
Man, it's definitely been a journey for not just only Josh. I feel like, man, Josh very close, so I take heed of that a little bit. Just knowing Wesley personally, myself, and knowing the family, it's definitely been a journey for the fam. But one thing that me and Josh talked about, it was, I want to say, probably like a week after we got back from that Tennessee game that he couldn't travel to. It was just he had to stay strong for his son. Like his son wasn't able to be strong at that time, so it was only right for me to help give Josh that strength, me being strong for Josh and Wesley, and for Josh to be able to carry over and help implement it to his family. And it's a blessing for Wesley to overcome his treatment, and I'm glad they caught it when they did to get everything taken care of.
And like you, it looks like Josh is off to an outstanding start out here. What kind of season are you expecting for Hines Allen?
We got to get back to it. We know our end goal at the end of the year. We got to take care of our division. Obviously, if we want to win the Super Bowl, I feel like he's going to have a great year. He's back leaned down a little bit. He's moving well, and I don't feel like we're just having fun. We're flying around. We're not thinking as much. We're just going. So I definitely feel like he's going to have a great year out here at practice. We've been holding each other accountable, and I'm looking forward to it. I know he's going to ball out.
Yeah, absolutely. Trayvon, what's it been like getting to know Travis Hunter, and what's been your impression of how he's handled everything as a rookie?
He's a freak. Yeah. Travis is a freak. On the offense side of the ball, defense side of the ball, but outside of on the field things, he's just a great guy overall. You can tell that he genuinely loves the game of football. Me personally, I'm that type of guy, so we just kind of naturally gravitate towards each other. His main focus is football. He's trying to provide for his family, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, he's a great guy to be around, funny, at times when he needs to be, and out here on this field, he's a dog.
Trayvon Walker, thank you so much for your time. Always great seeing you, and best of luck to you.
Yes, sir. Good seeing you as well. Thank you.
Just an extraordinary individual, a great player, and somebody who I think is just scratching the surface of what he is going to be in this league. And again, past 20 games in the NFL, Trayvon Walker tied for fourth in the NFL in sacks with 14.5. And as we all know, his game goes far beyond just that. But that's great to see, and we appreciate renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors for their sponsorship.
That's a tough cat there now.
Yeah,
that one thing that stands out to me about him is that is a tough cat.
They're special on the edge. There's no doubt about that. Like, we'll see how the other parts of the defense come together, but when Hines Allen and Walker are healthy, that is a handful. I mean, I don't know that there's very many clubs in the NFL that would say, nope, we'll take our two guys over those two. And I think their pairing is going to get even more momentum with the season that they're both about to have again, if they can stay healthy.
Yeah, that's the thing. And again, you asked me a couple of days ago, my biggest concern, and it might have been on the rundown. My concern is the physicality of both lines. I said that to you. And on the defensive side, the tackles. I just, that's the one spot that I've been saying all offseason. It's not new, but when you asked me that the other day, that's the one spot that I hope they're good enough at defensive tackle. I hope Mason Smith can emerge. I hope they're good enough there. Devon Hamilton, I hope he can refine what he had. Obviously, you hope Eric Armstead, there's something left there, because if those guys are good, then boy, the ends have a real chance. The news of the day, by the way, you heard Max read it. Caleb Renshaw, now he's down for a little while. They don't know how long. His is actually a lower body injury. Mm-hmm. Cole Van Lanen with the shoulder. The Van Lanen thing, and I think he might be back by the season or so. I'm hopefully he's had a great camp. He is probably today. He is probably ahead of Fred Johnson as the swing tackle.
Wow.
Yeah, he is probably ahead. If it was today, he's probably ahead of him, because you got to wonder if Chuma Edoga has become their top backup inside. Yeah. With Patrick McCarry out.
A lot of work.
With Patrick McCarry out, he's the guy that they really like. So we'll see. And again, they're moving all of them around, and they'll announce their depth chart when they're ready to announce the depth chart. Who knows what's going to play, who's going to play what spot. But it's just Edoga's a guy that can move. And Edoga, by the way, is like 6'4". He almost looks more like a guard than a tackle. And so he's a guy that they like a lot. I would say Chuma Edoga, regardless of where they put him, he might be as big a surprise and as pleasant a surprise as they've had in camp.
Wow.
I mean, he's really, really been good. And so Van Lanen and Edoga both have been very, very good. And what that means is, if the starters are what we expect, we said this the other day, if it's Walker Little, Cleveland, Hainsey, McCarry, Anton Harrison, if that's the five, and we expect that it will be, then Chuma Edoga, the former Cowboy, and Cole Van Lanen, who had been a journeyman for a while until here, they're pretty good players. They're two guys who have a chance to really give you some depth, to wind up giving you some depth. And again, they'll announce their depth chart when it's time, who lines up where, and who's first team, and who's second team, and who's the tackle, and who's the guard. But those guys, two guys, Van Lanen and Edoga, I can tell you, have really caught their eye.
Well, and you hope Wyatt Milam is going to be a big-time player and ready to be a quality player immediately. So that's an eighth guy. and they're probably 10 is the max in that room. I can't recollect ever seeing a 53 with 11 offensive linemen on it. So usually it's between 9 and 10. So it just speaks to how competitive it is for those last groups, because again, haven't mentioned guys like Fortner, Javon Foster. You mentioned Fred Johnson.
Right.
So, I mean, if we can pretty much guarantee 8 spots now, if they only keep 9, that's getting pretty tight.
Yeah. So you're exactly right about that.
And Monheim, another guy that's in the mix that they drafted.
They really I think they like their numbers there. The other guy we heard is that Rensaw is down lower body. Don't know how long.
Week to week is how they describe it.
Yeah.
So it'll be a while before you see him. But
yeah, and if he can play, I think he's right in that mix at that safety spot. Eric Murray's probably going to start at one safety, but I think there's a lot of guys in the mix for the other spot, between Dewey and Antonio Johnson and Rensaw, and there's a lot of guys in it. So and hopefully Rensaw I don't think anybody knows how badly he's injured, but if it's not bad at all, hopefully he gets in that mix. So anyway, but not too many injuries, but a handful here or there, like you always have in camp. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll get it to golf. Lee Smith joins us. He's the executive director of the Players Championship and our golf analyst. That's next. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
1010XL takes you inside the program director's office with Dan and Jeff.
You call yourselves professionals.
The Drill.
You all got your heads so far up your butt.
Mornings on 1010XL.
I have never, ever seen...
This is Jennifer Marion at Randy Marion Cadillac. Are you ready to drive away today in luxury? Then you should check out Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard in Jacksonville.
Discover our luxurious lineup with over 100 Cadillacs to choose from, including the stunning Cadillac IQ, Lyric, Optique, and Visti.
And here's something important. The $7,500 tax credit on EV vehicles will be gone in just 90 days.
That's right. Don't miss your chance to save while driving in style.
Visit us at Randy Marion Cadillac.
Plus tax tag Title $9.99 admin fee and resist all on approved credit.
Ready to ride the waves? Best Bet St. Augustine is turning up the heat with our Summer Splash promotion. We're giving away over $40,000 in cash and prizes, including a brand new 2025 Yamaha Wave Runner. From now through August 8th, every hour you play poker or table games earns you an entry to win. It all leads up to the grand prize drawing on August 9th. The more you play, the more chances you have. Don't miss your shot to make a splash this summer. Visit bestbetjacks.com for all the details. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Your AC's broke, it ain't no joke. Call Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. FloridaHomeAC.com.
Playoff-bound Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp are in full swing at the newly renovated VyStar Ballpark. Your home for affordable family fun. Tickets start at just $5. Fireworks after every Friday home game, and kids round the bases after Sunday games. Log on to jackshrimp.com for tickets and details. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball, affordable family fun.
Every NFL season starts with the fundamentals.
Gentlemen, this is a football.
Nobody covers camp like 1010XL.
And each year, there's a new challenge.
Powered by Roland Leash Plumbing and Green Acres Sporting Goods.
Mark Watson here to tell you a little bit about HardballCreative.com. It's your online promo haven with thousands of ideas on how to promote your company. We're open 24/7, 365.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
What do the letters AM and FM stand for?
Filing an insurance claim following a storm shouldn't be an ordeal. Southern Oak Insurance's claim team prepares for catastrophic situations well in advance. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
In radio lingo, AM stands for amplitude modulation. FM stands for frequency modulation.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Hey, I'm Tony from Tony D's Pizza. People ask me all day long, is it the water that makes the difference? Well, yes and no. Even water can't make a good pizza. It's the ingredients, too. The best tomatoes, the best flour, and the best cheese. Oh, and a lot of love. Tony D's New York Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295.
I-9 Sports covers the First Coast with all kinds of sports for kids ages 3 to 17. Fall and winter registration is open right now, like girls volleyball at Duval Charter Bay Meadows, plus plenty of co-ed programs in the Tri-County area to keep your kids active. And being part of a team creates great camaraderie and commitment. Year-round sports all across the First Coast. St. John's, Duval, and Clay, sign up now for the fall and winter. It's all at i9sports.com. Enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount. That's i9sports.com.
Attention skilled electricians. Are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just a job, but an experience, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Time now for the tour update with Players Championship Executive Director Lee Smith.
Keep an eye on this one.
Presented by Sunshine Turf, the highest quality artificial turf at affordable prices.
Tell you what, if you're looking for a putting green in your yard, if you're looking for a playground area, if you're looking for any kind of turf, and that's all the rage now, call my friend Caleb Smith at Sunshine Turf, 904-383-0243. Boy, they do a great job. I love that putting green. You'll love it as well. Sunshine Turf, they're the best in the business, 904-383-0243. All right, I'm not going to bury the lead here, Lee. I'm getting right to it. Have you seen Happy Gilmore 2 yet?
I have. 100%.
Did you like it? You had to love it, right?
You know, I got to be honest with you. It's not my favorite type of humor.
Yeah.
But I did like it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm more in the kind of stupid humor days. I'm more of a traditional, maybe Fletch fan.
Yeah. I get it.
You remind me of Fletch.
Yeah.
Well,
as opposed to Happy Gilmore 2. But no, watched it. I thought it was awesome. You know, to have that level of cameos between PGA Tour players and entertainers, celebrities, Eminem, Bad Bunny, Post Malone,
right.
You know, and then tour players from Rory to Scotty to Xander, you know, pretty much everybody you would want to see in a movie like that to have a collective and put it all together. I think it was a great piece of entertainment.
Let me ask you this, and again, today's humor is more the physical humor, people and things running into each other more than the sarcastic humor of Caddyshack and Airplane that you and I get your point. But let me ask you, did people on the tour know? I mean, dude, those guys, those weren't cameos. They were actors in the movie. It was beyond cameos. Yeah. The golf guys were. Was the word out around the tour that was? I had no idea. I had no idea that Happy Gilmore 2 would be that golf-centric. Did the people around the tour all kind of know that?
Yeah, absolutely. And our content teams are actually a part of that, of trying to arrange that with agencies and players. When we see something like that, that's important. There's another show on Apple called Stick with Owen Wilson.
Right.
That there are Keegan Bradley and a couple of others are in that show. So, yeah, a big part of that comes from the tour. You know, I think there was some, there was some information that had gotten out even on social media. You know, one of the big lines from Xander Schauffele was that's what she said line. I think he said it 3 or 4 different times.
He did.
You know, I think that was one of those that was being yelled out at him a couple times overseas at the Open Championship, and as you can imagine, and then. Not to let the cat out of the bag, but I think during these playoff events, there'll probably be some exhibitions or some activations that are surrounded around Happy Gilmore 2 in Memphis and maybe there at the Tour Championship in Atlanta.
Oh, very cool, very cool.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Can't wait for that. The reason that I think the PGA Tour should be so thrilled about Happy Gilmore 2 is it takes your biggest superstar right now in Scotty Scheffler and completely flips the narrative that there's no sizzle to him. He steals the movie. I mean, every scene that he's in is hilarious, and gets better as the movie goes along. Very willing to make light of the arrest, but I mean, just so many scenes in it where he's got great comedic timing. So I mean, to have your superstar who's playing as well as any player that we've seen since Tiger Woods, I think to have 47.5 million people see that, I think it's extraordinary for the PGA Tour.
Hey, Hayes, I think you're 100% right, and I got to think that from his camp that those types of things are intentional. In that, his opportunity, if there was a downside or if there was a critique of Scotty, not that we shared it, but if there was a critique of him by maybe the casual fan, is that he was a conservative and just didn't have the star power or the personality. And I think, a while ago after his Players Championship second win, him leaning into a logo that kind of had Goldman inspiration, but with his footwork on a T-shirt was a way that he leans into that. And then this just takes it to the next level. And I think showing that his personality and, like you say, his comedic chops and timing alongside Adam Sandler and Shooter McGavin and those types of things, I think, as you say, makes the movie and really sells Scotty Scheffler as something more than just a robotic golfer.
What's for dinner? Chicken fingers? I'll say another day.
I'll stick around.
You're getting into a little bit of a what could be, and I'm probably letting the cat out of the bag in Memphis. An activation that's happening on site.
Oh,
a lot of fun.
I can't wait.
That Scotty's a part of. Yeah,
I can't wait. That'll be fantastic. All right, I asked you to do this last week, but if you don't mind doing it again quickly, just as an overview, explain to people, if you would, Lee, as we get toward the end of the season, how the playoffs work, the cut from top 100, 70, 50, 30, the whole bit. Give us a quick synopsis of what's about to happen here.
Yeah, I think if you take a look at the FedEx Cup, I'll start just quickly with the top 100. So full status on the PGA Tour for next year, the number of cards was limited from 125 decreased down to 100. And there's still the fall series and the fall events that will play into that top 100. So finishing in the top 100 is not completely done at the end of this, what we call the regular season with the Wyndham Championship. So the first kind of threshold is top 100 at the end of those fall events. The next threshold is the top 70, and where this has a significant connection to the Players Championship is the top 70 that get into the playoffs and will play in Memphis, achieve status and are fully exempt into all full field events next year on the PGA Tour, as well as the Players Championship. So that top 70 will be here in Ponte Vedra playing in the Players Championship, as well as be exempt into the playoffs and to all full field events next year. The top 50 then will transition from Memphis to the BMW Championship at Caves Valley, the second playoff event of the year. And the top 50 earn status and exemptions into all of the signature events next year, the 8 signature events with larger purses and smaller fields. So it's a threshold that you certainly want to make from Memphis to the second playoff event at BMW. And then obviously the creme de la creme is, and the toughest tournament to gain access to is finishing in that top 30 through BMW and making your way to Atlanta and the Tour Championship, which, is such a fantastic cap to a full season and to the playoffs to only have 30 players at East Lake in Atlanta and crowning the Tour Championship with a new/old format of going back to that being just a 4-round tournament, mano a mano, with only 30 players.
We saw Harris English, the huge Jaguar fan, out at training camp practice a few days ago, And what a season that Harris is having, Lee. I mean, he's, I believe, 6th right now in the Ryder Cup standings, which would give him an automatic berth. But even if he doesn't finish in the top 6, what a career year for Harris English, and has to be somebody that Keegan Bradley is going to give great consideration to as a captain's pick if he doesn't finish in the top 6. But the way he's playing, looks like he probably will finish in the top 6 and have that automatic berth into the Ryder Cup team.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right, Ace. Harris English would not exactly be on everybody's superstar list. But the way that he has played this year certainly puts him in that Ryder Cup discussion for an automatic bid, as well as if he doesn't finish in there, as you said, to be picked. And I think one of the main reasons that he would get picked is because he is so steady and there's really no weakness in his game. You could throw him out there in alternate shot, and he's a really good iron player and a good driver of the golf ball and putter. But then you could throw him out there in a better ball format and expect him to make a lot of birdies and be really a good partner in both formats. So, sometimes players are a little more accustomed to this particular format, or they're a really straight driver of the golf ball, so they might be better fit for, the foursomes of the alternate shot format. But I think Harris English would be a really flexible player and a great personality for the team room that somebody would want for the Ryder Cup for sure.
Lee, what's your guess on, to that end? I mean, we know for people that don't follow it, Scheffler, Schauffele, J.J. Spawn, Russell Henley, DeChambeau, and Harris English, to Hayes' point, of the top 6. Are the next handful of guys, Justin Thomas is 7th, Morikawa's 8th, Ben Griffin's right there. Obviously, Keegan can pick himself. Is that how does it usually go like that? The next 4 or 5, or is there someone down the list a little bit that a captain will pick because he's a particularly good match play player? How does that usually work?
Yeah, I think every captain has a little bit different way that they want to do things, and they probably, as you can imagine, like with a draft in other sports or whatever it may be, unless something crazy happens, you got your mind made up going in and say this is our guy or these are our guys that we're going to focus on. And sometimes that has been a captain that has just gone straight down the line and maybe wanted to stay above the fray and stay out of any criticism and just go, hey, the automatics are 1 through 6, and I'm taking 7 through 12 as right. My next pick. But then, as you said, Frank, the others, take a look at formats and really strategize against, hey, I got a great iron player in Colin Morikawa. I want to pair him with somebody that's not going to ever miss a fairway so that I can have Colin Morikawa hitting an iron shot out of the fairway, as that's going to be a team to be reckoned with. Or I want somebody that's Chris Gotterup, that's brand new, is a rookie just coming on the scene, winner of the Scottish Open, somebody that but that hits it an absolute mile, that looks to be maybe a stalwart of the U.S. team for the next 4, 5, 6 Ryder Cups. That we got to get him some runs, get that rookie some experience in this type of pressure format, and we can pair him with a Scotty that has kind of that Midwest Oklahoma/Texas ties that you can pair him and kind of father him around the golf course to set the U.S. team up for the future. So a lot of different ways to go. I think Keegan has kind of tipped his hand a little bit in that he's probably going to go more down the list than maybe some others have. But it'll be interesting, to see how he performs this week in such a great field at Wyndham. I think it's their best field at Wyndham because of these top 30, 50, 70, and 100 milestones, as well as the Ryder Cup this fall. The best they've had in almost 20 years there. So it'll be interesting to see how Keegan plays and then where he goes after the Tour Championship with his pick.
All right, we will see what happens. It's going to be a fun end to the golf season, and it's been a fantastic golf season. It'll be fun watching the playoffs, the Tour Championship, and, of course, the Ryder Cup. Lee Smith is the executive director of the Players Championship and is our golf analyst. Now we're 2 to 4 now, so Lee will generally be joining us at 3 o'clock on these Thursdays, right after our friend Greg McGarity is here with the Gator Bowl College Football Report. We look forward to it. Lee, thanks, buddy.
Yes, sir. Thanks, guys.
Okay, Lee Smith, check it in, talking golf, and nobody does a better job than that. Let's talk some college football after this. It's 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
If you like to decompress after a daily mess,
well, I guess you know all about me.
Hitch a ride home with the Frangie Show.
So what do you do for relaxation?
Frangie and Carline drive you home.
Woo! Hey, you want to drive?
Afternoons on 1010XL.
This is Hayes Carline for Atlantic Infinity. If a new ride is on your radar, don't wait. Head to Atlantic Infinity today. This is hot. For a limited time, get 0% interest on new vehicles. When is the last time you saw that offer? Plus, with every new purchase, you'll get the Atlantic Infinity Promise. That's nearly $2,500 in added value free. No pressure, just smart timing. They're on Atlantic near St. John's Bluff, or shop anytime at AtlanticInfinity.com.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
The best game day parking in all of Duval is at Tailgaters Parking. Are you ready for some football? Tailgaters is just steps away on the east side of the stadium. Visit tailgatorsparking.com and secure your season parking pass today.
When your plumbing backs up, your septic's acting shady, or your AC quits on a 95-degree day, who are you going to call? Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. Don't take just our word for it. Here's what real customers are saying about their experience with our company.
Megan in the office was so helpful and polite. Scheduling was easy, and the tech showed up right on time.
From plumbing and septic to air conditioning, we do it all. Call 904-862-6769 or online at duckrooter.com. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
After 3 years, the Hacker Fantasy League is back here in 2025. Thursday night, August the 21st, at Twin Peaks on Atlantic and Kernan, the HFL is back. Be listening to Hacker After Dark for your chance to enter.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Let's get the work done.
Training camp is here.
Up, quick feet, quick feet, quick feet.
1010XL's training camp coverage is backed by Roland Reach Plumbing and Green Acres Sporting Goods.
Go, here we go. Let's go. It's live now. Let's go.
Buying a diamond, wedding band, or piece of fashion jewelry in Jacksonville? You have two choices. You can go to locally owned Beard's Diamonds, or you can go to one of those mega national chain jewelry stores. The national chains are pretty much all the same. In fact, did you know that some of them are owned by the same conglomerate? Yes, the same Wall Street company owns all the big names. So if you're looking for extreme value with genuine personal attention, come experience the Beard's Diamond difference. At Beard's, our diamonds come straight from the source. We hand select each one for maximum brilliance. Diamonds. We don't have to apply corporate markups and tack on salespeople commissions, so we beat the chains on price every single day. Beards has the strongest warranties, not gotcha clauses and fine print. Beards has all the top designers, including Tacori and Viraggio. Beards doesn't have out-of-state regional managers calling about sales quotas. We are all local, family-owned with total freedom to do what's right for our customers. Beards Diamonds, all the selection, quality, value, and service you want from local people, accountable only to you. Beards in the St. John's Town Center.
Your yard starting to look a little like a jungle? Well, it might be time for a little TLC. Or how about RTC, Russell Tree Care? At Russell Tree Care, they give your trees the perfect haircut. Whether it's trimming or removing, they'll make sure your yard looks its best, all while keeping safety as a top priority. Call Russell Tree Care today and let them take care of your trees. Russell Tree Care, 844-4Mr. Wood. That's 844-467-9663. Or visit RussellTreeCareLLC.com today. Your trees will thank you.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Storms don't wait, so why should you? Protect your home and your wallet with Universal Roof and Contracting. Save 15% on roof replacements and repairs now through July 31st. And financing is available with payments as low as $115. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roof and Contracting. Protecting your home, building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com. Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save up to $800 on select smart beds. Limited time. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Tomorrow only, get cash for your precious metals, gold, silver, watches, and jewelry. Everything gets a look. Stop by the Roadshow USA buying event at the Spring Hill Suites on Bay Meadows Road. Mention 1010XL and get 20% extra.
If you're 35 to 75, you could get life insurance today. No medical exam needed. I'm Cody with Harborstone Financial. One call could protect your family for life. Call me today, 904-885-9566.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. Tomorrow, the Jacksonville Jaguars will be hosting a scrimmage in Everbank Stadium at 7 p.m., airing right here on 1010XL 92.5 FM and 1010 AM. Parking lots open at 3:30 with complimentary general parking available upon registration for lots B, C, D, E, J, S, and X. Due to construction, only Gate 1 and Gate 4 will be open for entry at 4:30 with kickoff coming at 7 p.m. This week's PGA Tour event, the Wyndham Championship from Greensboro, North Carolina, marks the final PGA Tour event before the FedEx Cup playoffs next week and gives some players teetering on the line a chance to reach the postseason. Fan favorite Joel Damon currently leads in the clubhouse after day one, thanks to his 9-under 61. It's 93 degrees at 3:01. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, Hammer Time with Hayes. Driven by Kia on Atlantic. Southside Kia is now Kia on Atlantic. Check us out at KiaOnAtlantic.com.
I'm not going to call out Rhett Lashley or Kirk Cignetti, although this doesn't really apply to the Big Ten, but it does apply to people that, like making fun of the SEC or criticizing the SEC. So the ACC media released their preseason poll.
Right.
Clemson is number one. That's not a surprise. But here's what is damning for the ACC, and it's why the ACC, at least to this point, cannot be considered as strong as the SEC. Clemson got 167 first-place votes out of 183 voters. come on. And I'm not saying that's wrong. I'd have voted for Clemson. But my point is, Rhett Lashley's talking about, the same 6 schools have won the championships in that conference. You've got one school that anybody is voting for this season to win your league. And if you put Clemson in the SEC this year, how many number one votes do you think they'd get?
Well, they're 0-3 against them last year.
I was going to say, they'd get some because some idiot votes for Vanderbilt every year. But, I mean, where would you put Clemson? If you put Clemson in an SEC power poll today and made it a 17-team league, I'd put them I'm not saying they'd be sixth, but they'd probably be third or fourth. I mean, they'd probably be behind Texas and Georgia at best. And you could make an argument of Alabama or LSU. They are so dominant, at least in the media's mind, going into this season, that they got 167 out of 183 votes.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. To that end, well done. I'll tell you this. And that speaks to, again, I don't make fun of coaches very often, but when Rhett Lashley said, It's not a deep league. It's the same 6 teams. It's 6 teams. No league has 6 champions over the last 20 years. No league has that.
Well, he said since 1964.
Okay, okay, good point. Well, I can't think of any league that has 6 champions since 64.
Yeah.
6 different teams. So good point. So let me tell you what the ACC needs, to your point. Let me tell you what the ACC needs more than anything else. Assuming Florida State doesn't have a massive bounce back, and it'd be hard to imagine you'd win 2 games one year and you're winning 11 the next. Okay, it just doesn't work like that. So assuming Florida State doesn't have a massive bounce back, with apologies to Cal, Stanford, I lose track of who all is in the league, Syracuse, Pitt, BC, on and on and on. With apologies to Belichick, with apologies to Haynes King, who returns for his 13th year, with apologies to all that. What the ACC needs is Miami to be great.
Yeah.
Because that's the one team that could sustain it. The one, if North Carolina comes out of nowhere under Belichick and wins 10 games because the schedule's easy, and it's not gonna hold. If Stanford all of a sudden is good because Frank Reich calls some NFL plays and they win 9 games, it's not gonna hold. Sorry, SMU. They had a great year last year. Does anyone think SMU is going to be a player for the national championship?
No.
Of course not. So shy of FSU making the big bounce back, and again, they won 2 games last year. The ACC needs Miami to be really good. Look, they've got a quarterback that's 24-3 as a starter in the Southeastern Conference. That's pretty damn good. Say what you want about some of the struggles Carson Beck had midseason last year, whatever. He's 24-3 in the Southeastern Conference, and he's a clear NFL prospect. Maybe not the prospect he once was. The ACC needs Miami to get to 10 or 11 wins and to be firmly in the playoffs because you can make yourself believe that's going to hold. That's my point. Clemson's going to hold.
Yes.
If FSU comes back, it could hold.
Yes.
If Miami got to 10, and they could, by the way. Obviously, Cristobal, they've probably found the right coach. He's probably going to recruit the guys. If they get to 10 or 11 wins, I could see myself thinking, without even knowing their personnel, that they might be in the playoffs next year too, and next year too. I can't find anybody else in that league I feel that way about. There's not one other team in that league that if they went 10-2 and made the playoffs, I'd be confident they were going to do it again the next year. With the SEC, I can tell you, without knowing their personnel, if Auburn goes 10-2 this year, I'm going to expect that you Freeze has kind of found something you better watch out for in the next 2 or 3 years. If Florida, you better watch out for in the next 2 or 3 years. Because they at least have those schools have blue blood tendencies. You can argue who's a blue blood and who's not, but they have the tendencies of blue bloods. And so I think the only schools that would win 10 or 11 games, and I'm confident they might have found something, meaning they're going to do it again next year, are Clemson, Miami, and when FSU gets back. That's it.
That's it.
They're the only one. Whereas in the Big Ten, if Penn State goes and gets out of 10 or 11 wins this year, I'm now confident they're going to be on a roll. Ohio State and Michigan are already on the roll. Okay, right? They're already there. So at least that's 3 teams. You know what? If USC ever found it again,
and they will.
If Oklahoma ever finds it again, I'd be convinced that can hold for a while.
I would agree.
But the only teams the ACC has, other than Clemson, that I might be wrong. I mean, for all I know, Virginia might be good for a bunch of years. But in my opinion, the only teams they have that I would be confident would hold it are Clemson, FSU, and Miami.
Yeah, and again, I'm with you on Miami. I think Miami's here to stay, but you have to mention in a conversation like this that the second team that we're going to has never won this league, and their time, which is now pretty substantial in this league. So again, it just speaks to the lack of depth in the ACC. But I'm with you. I think Florida State will come back. And when Florida, I don't know that it'll be this year, and I don't know it'll be under Mike Norvell. I kind of don't think it will be. But at some point, FSU will get the right guy, and they will come back. Miami appears to be in great shape. They're ascending. Clemson is stabilized things. There's the lull, whatever lull there was in the post multiple national championships. They've seemed to have figured that out. I would think that Clemson's still going to be very strong when Klubnik and all these NFL guys, are in the draft in 2026. But beyond that, there's nothing. And again, it still is incredible to me that the second team on this list has never won this league. Which, again, you would never see that in the SEC. The SEC would never need to lean into Missouri or South Carolina. Or, A&M hasn't been in the league all that long. But
well, here's the thing, too. To your point, forget the SEC for a second. And what the SEC has created in football by having all those dominant teams and then adding Texas and Oklahoma probably isn't fair. But even if you compare the ACC to other leagues we've either had or have, if you compare them to the Big 12, at least the Big 12, I feel like there's a couple teams that if they hit it, they could hang around for a while. They don't have any power teams.
When's the last time they won a national championship out of the Big 12?
No, I agree.
Come on.
I'm with, but do you think the ACC is better than the Big 12?
Yes,
I do too.
Come on, it's Southern football. It's Florida State. It's Clemson,
and that's it.
It's Miami,
and that's it.
Okay, start going after the Big 12s. Yeah, give me a break.
I don't. I'm telling
that's
you.
That's like a Boise State's, level football.
I'm telling you, maybe, but after FSU, Clemson, and Miami.
Okay, we'll go through the Big 12 teams you think are great.
Okay, you mean Blue Bloods are good this year?
Like they could be sustained winning. That's the thing. Like
okay.
Maybe West Virginia,
I find myself thinking that Utah.
Oh my God!
You think
never
Virginia's
been to a
better than
national
Utah?
title? Never won. Like I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, so they have a couple big teams at the top, but Clemson wins national titles.
Yeah,
what are we talking about?
Okay, then let me rephrase it. Okay, I'll give you the ACC over Big 12. The bottom line is it's not because the SEC is so good that I feel this way about the ACC. Let me phrase it that way.
I got you.
It's not that the SEC. My point is, I don't think the ACC is very good, regardless of how good the SEC is or isn't. Let me say it that way, okay? I don't think it is. Once upon a time, I thought the Pac-12 was pretty good, okay? Now they lost their four good teams. Once upon a time, I thought the Big 12 was pretty good, and they lost Texas and Oklahoma. I've never thought the ACC was any good. That's my point. I've never thought the ACC was any good. And I'm not trying to rag on them because I think FSU, Miami, and Clemson have been very good. I think there's a small stretch where Virginia Tech was very good. But I've never thought the ACC was very good. Is that a better way to say it? I've never thought the ACC was very good. That's my point.
Yeah.
Whereas these other leagues, once upon a time, I thought had some power teams. Now, you're right. The Big Ten and SEC went and stole their good teams.
Well, when's the last time Oklahoma or Texas won a national title?
Yeah, 05 probably.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Clemson's won like 3 since then.
Yeah, but
Florida State's won 1 since then.
Yeah, I guess, but I hear you.
It's Southern. Listen, it's not as great as the SEC, and it never will be. But there's still high-level football players in the South that play on these ACC teams. I cannot say the same about the Big 12.
Yeah, you're right.
I think Georgia Tech's a good thing. I think Louisville is a good team.
Yeah, I got a heart without knowing Georgia Tech and Louisville's personnel or Arizona State or Utah.
Georgia Tech go blow for blow with Georgia, who's considered one of the best teams in the nation. They went to 8 overtime.
If Georgia Tech and Louisville are year in and year out better than whoever, Utah, Arizona, whoever, I'd be surprised. I just would. Maybe they are.
In Arizona?
Or Arizona State because they're good this year. But you missed my point. My point is I don't think the ACC, you can disagree with me, but in my opinion, I don't think the ACC is very good other than the 3 teams.
But don't you think they're the 3rd best conference?
Yeah, you know what? Now, if I add it up now that there's only 4, yeah, they probably are. Okay, the more if the ones that are left, yeah, it's probably the 3rd best marginally. I'm not sure any of those ACC teams would have beat Arizona State last year. I'm not. I mean, just for 1 year, would any of those ACC teams have beaten Arizona State last year?
I watched one Arizona State game.
Yeah, me too.
last year,
Me too.
so
by the way,
I'm not going to.
But it's fair.
But you get the point.
And how many losses did they have? I don't even know who they were.
But you get the point. I'm not sure that any of those ACC teams would have beat Arizona State. My point is the ACC. The point you're starting with is that after, and again, by the way, in fairness, the ACC isn't bad because anyone went and stole their teams. They're bad because after 3 teams, they've never been any good. That's my point. The Big 12 and the Pac-12 are now bad, or Pac-12's gone, but the Big 12's gone because people went and took their teams. The ACC, to me, has never moved.
My point is, even before Oklahoma and Texas were taken, they weren't doing anything on a national level. The ACC was. Oh,
yeah. I mean,
when's the last time Oklahoma or Texas was in a huge game?
But JJ, to that point,
Oklahoma made the playoff with Lincoln Riley.
Yeah, but to that point, when's the last time
they've never won a playoff game?
But if you're
and they got killed by Clemson in a playoff game. I was
you're
there.
saying
it was in Miami.
But hang on, if you're going to talk about Texas and Oklahoma being down, well, before last year, when's the llast time Miami moved the needle? You know, I mean, I still believe in Miami. Okay,
but I'm talking about Clemson.
No. Clemson's is a blue blood in anybody's league. I'm not denying Clemson. I think Clemson.
They're in the ACC.
No,
FSU, they were undefeated 2 years ago.
Again, after Clemson, FSU, and Miami, I think it's a bad league. I can't be any more clear about that. After those 3 teams who I think are true blue
and I'm
blood,
just saying those teams in the Big 12 that you were saying before they left, they weren't doing anything.
I got to tell you, you're right. If it's Clemson, Miami, FSU versus Texas and Oklahoma, again, Texas, Oklahoma, and Miami have been bad. Okay, they've been no factors.
Well, Oklahoma's been better than Miami.
Yeah. So, but my point is, again, the ACC, other than the 3 programs, there's nothing there. That's my point.
Right.
There's nothing other than 3 programs. There's nothing there,
and we'll never have anything.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
Again, unless one of these schools that's never been traditionally strong consistently is able to master the new revenue sharing NIL, then I will certainly agree that the paradigm is now open for schools that, like a Texas Tech, who's generating a lot of buzz because they've got crazy money apparently, and so Texas Tech.
Where was JJ? In your opinion, where was before all the conference realignment stuff started? Where did you have the ACC when there were 5 power conferences?
So when was that?
I mean, before Texas, Oklahoma, USC, UCLA, Oregon, Washington.
Listen, before they got Oregon and all them, I mean, they were better than the Big Ten. The Big Ten has suddenly became the second best conference in the world.
I agree,
but that is very short-lived. That just happened.
So SEC 1, Pac-12 2, Big Ten 3, right? 8 years ago. Is that how you'd rank them?
The Pac-12 2? Well, hell no.
When they had Oregon, Washington, USC, UCLA?
No.
Yeah.
Who was 2?
I don't know, but I mean,
somebody's got to be 2.
Changes year to year, but I definitely would have had the Big Ten over the Pac-12 and the ACC over the Pac-12. I mean, the Pac-12, talking about national titles. So when's the last time anybody from there won a national title?
So before that's what I'm asking you. Before all the thing, where would you have the ACC? That was
probably second because they have Southern players. They have. I mean, that's what college football has become.
Yeah,
they still recruit at a higher level than teams out west.
Like the Sun Belt has Southern players.
Yeah.
But these are the second tier. Like the Sun Belt is way down
So
there.
you had
guys who don't go to Alabama or LSU, they go to Miami or North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? Like that's sort of the people that the ACC still gets.
So you had it before SEC 1, ACC 2.
Like I said, you're just saying before, I don't know when we're talking, what year, but just
10
in
years
general,
ago. 10 years ago.
Probably. Okay. I don't know.
I would have had the ACC 4th or 5th. What would you have had them? 10 years ago, I would have had them 4th or 5th. Now I would have had that's for me.
Yeah, I probably would have gone
I would have picked Iowa or USC to beat North Carolina or Georgia Tech.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, 10 years ago, you had it down Miami.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in 10 years ago, ACC, it was a 2-team league.
Right.
So,
listen, I don't even. Do we know that in 2015? Are we really talking? Like Miami won. Miami was like undefeated and number 3 in the nation in 2017. Yeah. Like it's hard to go like year for year. 10 years ago, who I thought was the best, but to say that they were the 5th best conference to me is wow.
I would have had them. I would have had them as the 5th best conference. I would have had them as the 5th best conference.
Okay.
I don't think there's a huge gap. I mean, I think 10 years ago, it would have been SEC, massive gap, and then 2 through 5. So I don't think there would have been a big difference between 2.
You wouldn't have had the Big Ten second? Clearly
probably,
but not clearly.
But I've always viewed the Big Ten as it's incredibly top heavy with no depth.
Yeah.
So I mean, you still would have been, Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State,
and maybe it's just my old guy bias, but I still would have, without even knowing, to JJ's point, who was on the teams 10 years ago, because I don't. I would have assumed I would pick Michigan State to beat NC State. Now maybe I'd have been wrong, and maybe they wouldn't have. But I would have assumed if you'd asked me to pick them 10 years ago, I would have expected Michigan State to beat NC State. That's my point. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my point. I may be wrong.
That's
I mean,
pretty vague.
And I'm cherry picking teams, but I'm just telling you, I think the Big Ten. I've always thought it's SEC 1, and I would have had the Big Ten and Pac-10 or Pac-12, whatever, ahead of the ACC. And with Texas and Oklahoma there, I probably would have had the Big 12. Well, right or maybe I'm wrong, but I would have had them all ahead of the ACC. I think the ACC was a 2-team conference, except for the years when Miami's good. That's my take. So, right or wrong, that's what I got. Let's take a break. Headlines are next.
It's the ride home with The Frangie Show. From the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Experience professional grade at Nimnick Buick GMC, home of the largest inventory of GMC Sierras in Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia. Now this month, save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierra 1500 or enjoy rates as low as 0% APR financing. That's right, 0%. You can't find deals like this anywhere else in Jacksonville. And Nimnick has the largest selection of GMC's impressive SUV lineup, like the all-new redesigned GMC Acadia and the highly sought-after Yukon and Yukon XL. Are you curious about an EV? Well, save big with the all-new GMC Hummer EV SUV and truck, plus the all-new GMC Sierra EV. You get the deal. Nobody has better prices on anything EV than my friends at Nimnick, so head there today. Shop 24/7 online at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Head to Nimnick today. We are professional grade GMC.
Go full throttle for a photo finish.
Off the corner, to the line, the checkered flag is waving.
Sunday at Iowa Speedway.
He's gonna do it!
NASCAR is tuned up by Maxie's Mechanics on Jacksonville's NASCAR station, 1010XL.
David Lane here, and once again, I'm happy to share news of my success with back and knee surgeries at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. Whatever it is that's bothering you, take it from me. Simply set an appointment today at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist and let them help you get back to normal life. I'm certainly glad I did.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
You've probably heard the saying, it's not how hard you get hit, it's whether or not you get back up. Well, I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and I have a saying of my own. If you get hit with a personal injury or wrongful death, hit back and fight to make them pay. At Hastings Injury Law, we have the experience you want if you or a loved one suffer a car or trucking accident or wrongful death. Just call 904-HIT-BACK and we'll help you get up and hit back. Office is Jacksonville.
Want to bet on sports but no clue where to start? Millions of players are already making moves on Hard Rock Bet. Your friends might be winning. Why not you? Bet with confidence. Bets by real players help guide your picks. Go with the crowd and cash in on the wins. Any pick that catches your eye. Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us. New players bet $5 and get $150 instantly in bonus bets. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
You've got fantasy football questions. This is where you get your answers. 1010XL's Fantasy Football Draft Guide with insight from Hacker, Hayes, Fat Tony, and me, Mike Dempsey. Get the guide at 1010XL.com and on all of the 1010XL social channels.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to our website, CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com. And let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold's recently hit an all-time high at over $3,000 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold for cash and get top dollar, or trade it in for a new piece and get even more at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is Jennifer Marion at Randy Marion Cadillac. Are you ready to drive away today in luxury? Then you should check out Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard in Jacksonville.
Discover our luxurious lineup with over 100 Cadillacs to choose from, including the stunning Cadillac IQ, Lyric, Optique, and Vistique.
And here's something important. The $7,500 tax credit on EV vehicles will be gone in just 90 days.
That's right. Don't miss your chance to save while driving in style.
Visit us at Randy Marion Cadillac.
Plus tax type Title 999 admin fee and resist all on approved credit.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round. It's Hayes' Headlines, presented by Harrell & Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hayes Carline.
We certainly appreciate our friends at Harrell & Harrell. Holt is one of my best friends, great guy, and he will take great care of you, as will his sister, Julie. Give him a call, 251-1111. Frank, we're going to get started with Jaguars training camp. Travis Hunter on defense today, looking good, making some plays. And your guy, De'Ami Brown, continues to heat up the offense with big plays.
Yeah, when he's because of the Super Bowl appearance, he probably won't be able to play in the Pro Bowl, my guy. Okay, just so you know that. That's the only thing that's going to keep. There'll be an alternate.
Yeah,
there'll be an alternate from the Chargers or something. Right. Just so you know that.
Yeah.
De'Ami Brown does. I tell you what, Trevor.
You're welcome, Vlad McConkey.
De'Ami Brown. Trevor said it after those OTAs or minicamp. Said you notice he gets the ball up. We do notice that, Trevor. And boy, watching Travis Hunter catch the ball. When you watch him in those individual drills, those individual drills when he did the way he prepares his hands. I told you, Bucky Brooks came on with us and said he's a ball catcher. He knows how he is. He's going to be fun. I agree with you.
Yeah, without a doubt. Jaguars offensive coordinator Grant Udisky met with reporters after practice. He talked about Frangie's boy, De'Ami Brown.
I think that's kind of what you saw a little bit from him last year. He has that ability. I think the improvement in some of the stuff that he's shown in the run game, and even with the different routes that we've asked him to run, will only hopefully expand his ability to create explosives. But last year, whether it was running go balls or vertical routes or with the ball in hand on screens and different plays, I think that's something that's in his wheelhouse.
JJ might have had the line of the break. Okay. Don't be afraid to say that stuff on the air when you're funny, okay? That was pretty good.
It's all right.
JJ said ACC player, by the way.
De'Ami Brown.
Pride of North Carolina.
Tar Heel, baby.
Got me giggling a little bit. Well said.
Yes.
I'm laughing a little bit.
Well done.
But no, I'm telling you, he's a good player, man. He really, joking aside, he's a good player.
Yeah, he looks good. Had a great double move today and was wide open. One of the few wide open receivers deep that we've seen all at camp. And Trevor did an outstanding job of surveying the field and delivering a very accurate ball deep down the field for a big-time touchdown to De'Ami Brown. Let's stay with that receiving core because obviously it is led by the dynamic Brian Thomas Jr. as he enters his second season. BTJ met with reporters as well after practice and was asked about what he's added in terms of his preparation and watching film.
Really just getting more into the playbook, knowing the ins and outs of it, just knowing like why we run certain things with certain coverages and what are we trying to do with certain routes and stuff like that. So I would say just being in the film room, being in the playbook, I would say that's probably my biggest thing I've added to my game.
I'll tell you what, now that everybody knows who he is, if he has another big year, and I got a hunch he's going to, I said this before, Hayes, he's going to be one of the great, he could be, let me stop myself, it's been 1 year. But he could be one of the great Jaguars ever. It's not like there's been that many great Jaguars ever. I mean, realistically, really, really, really good players. There's Fred and Mark and Jimmy and Tony, obviously. And Tony, Fred, Mark, Jimmy, Maurice Jones-Drew. Boy, after that 5, the list slows down now.
Yeah.
I mean, he could be in that conversation pretty doggone quick.
Absolutely. I think he will be. Let's talk about some injuries, some good, some bad for the Jaguars today. On the good side, Dennis Gardeck came off of the PUP list today, the linebacker / supplemental edge rusher. So that'll be very good to see what he can do once he gets acclimated. But he's somebody that, could be a 4.5, 5 sack guy for the Jags.
I'm interested to see what he is because he could be a sack guy, but I don't think he's an edge. I think he's more of a linebacker. Now, linebackers get sacks too, even in 4-3 defenses, but I'll be interested to see when the season gets here and we see the depth chart, we see these guys play, I'll be interested to see what Gardeck is. My gut tells me he's more linebacker than edge, but he's a linebacker that can come off the edge in certain blitzing situations and whatnot.
Yeah, I would agree. In terms of some not so good news on the attrition front, rookie safety Caleb Ransaw is week to week with what the team describes as a lower body injury. An offensive lineman, Cole Van Lanen, who Frank told you the team's really excited about, has a shoulder issue that will force him to miss the rest of camp.
Yeah, there's a chance he's their swing tackle. He's had a really good camp so far, but hopefully we'll be back when the season starts. And Ransaw's the guy they drafted really high and really like. And who knows, a lower leg injury can mean a lot of things. It can mean a lot of time frames. Let's hope it's not too long because he's a guy that they feel really good about.
Let's get it to around the NFL. We've got football tonight. Chargers, Lions, Hall of Fame game. Detroit, a 2-point favorite in a blockbuster night of betting.
Is Lem Barney covering Lance Allworth on a little John Hadle dropping the throw? Is that what I got?
Yeah.
Is John Hadle still around? Did he die?
I don't know.
John Hadle?
I'm not sure about that one. We'll have to look.
Chargers and Lions. You said it. You described it best perfectly. It's so exciting. Now when the game starts, nobody's playing. But it's still kind of cool.
Yeah.
So the 2 NFL teams playing is still pretty cool.
The way I look at it, you've got to get across this threshold to get to the next threshold, and then and then obviously the regular season week 1. So we're getting close, and it'll be fun tonight. I'll be really excited for about 10 minutes.
John Hadle no longer with us, by the way. Unfortunately, 2022.
Was he an ACC guy too?
Kansas.
Okay.
He was Kansas. I thought he died.
If he was an ACC guy, we would have known if he was alive or dead.
I thought he passed away a little bit.
82.
82.
I'm old enough to remember John Hadle throwing to Lance Allworth.
How about that?
I really am.
Yeah.
So I thought he had passed away.
Let's get it to college football. The ACC media have selected Clemson as the favorite to win the league. Miami is second, while FSU is 7th.
Yeah, 7th out of...
how many teams do they have now? 16?
20.
They have 20?
No, I was joking. I don't know.
They might. I don't know. Once you brought in Cal and Stanford, I mean, it could be any number.
Right. But I'll say what I said earlier. The ACC, Clemson's going to be good. they're going to be good year in and year out. They may be up and down. The ACC needs Miami to hold because Miami's the one program, and FSU when they come back. And Miami, I mean, you know what the best thing for ACC is? Both of them in the playoffs. Both of them in the playoffs and with a chance. Both in the playoffs and with a chance. I mean, that SMU was in the playoffs, but it didn't move the needle.
Yeah.
If Miami's in the playoffs, it's going to move the needle.
A huge ratings.
17 teams, by the way. 17 teams in the ACC.
What about FSU being 7th? I mean, I would imagine if that's where they finish, they're going to have a new head coach.
Yeah, I would think so too. I'll say what I said before about FSU. I'm not trying to duck it. It's impossible to know what they're going to be because every player's new. I mean, if you're an FSU diehard fan, you know Darryl Jackson's back, and you know there's 2 or 3 guys you recognize. But for the rest of us, we'll recognize the uniform. I know they play at Doak Campbell, but honest to God, it's an entirely different team. So I don't. How do you project them?
I don't know.
It's like an all-star
which is
team.
probably why they were picked as low as they were. Because if you're a writer, you're like,
you don't know.
I mean, they know Castellanos,
right?
But that's more, I'd say, bad than good.
And by the way, I'll say this about FSU too. It's not like that 13-0 regular season didn't happen. It happened, which means Mike Norvell is good at going and getting portal guys. You can't act like that didn't happen. That was real. That was a great year that was derailed because their quarterback got hurt. And so clearly the guy's good at going and getting players in the portal. He proved it. No matter how bad they were last year, he proved it. So maybe he did it again this year, but there's just no way of knowing.
Let's get to Major League Baseball. Shohei Ohtani left last night's game. Boy, that was scary because you immediately start thinking about another Tommy John, but it appears like it was just dehydration.
Or lower back, maybe.
But it looks like he's going to be okay. But boy, that would last thing Major League Baseball would have needed.
Well, you know the one thing I thought about that, JJ, you might have thought this too, maybe you didn't, but one thing I thought about when that is I hope his pitching doesn't hurt his hitting. You know what I mean? And maybe it won't. Maybe that. But
I've always thought, I hope they don't shut him down from pitching completely.
Yeah, me too.
Because, like you said, his hitting is so good that, might think that the Dodgers would be like, you know what, just do this full time. But it takes so much away from him.
Yeah, right. And I hope that too. But and again, I'm not smart enough to know if you hurt your elbow again, how much it hurts you as a hitter.
Right.
But this guy's.
He was able to play the whole season hit with
that's right. But this guy's the hitter of a generation. This guy hits 50 home runs and steals 50 bases. Nobody does that.
Right.
So nobody. So I hope we don't ever lose that. I'd hate to lose him as a pitcher, to JJ's point, but I really hope we don't ever lose this magnificent offensive player.
We're getting close to the MLB trade deadline. What's grabbed you guys so far from the acquisitions that we've seen?
JJ, I'd say closers. Bednar just went from the Pirates, but a bunch of closers.
I'll give you one that was yesterday that I loved was Eugenio Suarez, who used to play for Seattle, plays for Arizona, hits a bunch of homers, and Seattle brought him back. And now they have Cal Raleigh and him.
Yep.
And they could both, they're on pace to get like 60 each.
Yeah,
which probably won't happen, but it'll be fun to watch.
Suarez has 87 RBIs.
Wow.
He's got
on a crappy team.
On a bad team, he's got 87. And you're right. And Seattle did a bunch of stuff. They got a closer too. They're trying, like the Padres.
Yeah.
They're trying to win. They're saying, okay, we're not the Dodgers or the Yankees. We don't show up in October all that often. Let's go try and win. I agree. Those two just stood out for me too.
Let's get it to food. Do you like food? Do you like junk food?
Oh, I love food.
Yeah, junk food. Do you like junk food?
I do.
Okay, great. This story is.
Who doesn't like junk food?
Yeah, you ready?
Who doesn't love junk food?
I'm glad you're sitting down for this.
Okay.
Oreos and Reese's are combining on a product.
Wow.
This is the Oppenheimer of junk food. This is the greatest idea I have ever heard, and I can't wait to buy it. An Oreo and a Reese's cup melded together.
That'd be the greatest thing ever. I love it. First of all, I think it'd be good for you. I think beyond that, it would taste magnificent. Reese. When Reese's said, Mr. Reese years ago said, you know what, we got to do more. That's why I had Reese's Pieces.
Yeah.
Because Mr. Reese said, you know what, we're not doing enough.
Yeah.
Got everybody
they do
together.
Cereal now.
Yeah,
So
they got a cereal. They got together in the conference room and said, we need to do more.
What's interesting,
and that's what's happened.
And what's interesting about this story from a business angle is Reese's and Oreos, they're owned by two different companies. So this is a true collaboration.
The merge.
The companies got together and said, you have a great product, we have a great product.
Yeah.
Let's mix it together and come up with something. And so each company is going to release a version of the collaboration.
And it's a perfect, now that America's on this health kick,
yes.
I think it's a perfect time for it.
I completely agree. Should be a lot of fun. We will get you out on our musical note of the day. It's time for another 40-year flashback. This song topped the charts back in 1985. Duran Duran and the theme for the 14th James Bond movie, A View to a Kill. This is the only Bond theme to ever reach #1 on the Billboard charts.
As I've told you many times, #1 is probably the most memorable, one of the most memorable Bond themes ever. Okay, what was the Wings one?
Live and Let Die.
Live and Let Die, because that was one.
I'm surprised I didn't go to one.
Yeah, but this certainly did.
It was more competitive in the 70s.
And again, once I reached my 50s and 60s and could then admit I liked Duran Duran, I liked it even more.
Yeah.
So there's
View to a Kill, great movie. You get Tanya Roberts.
Yes, you did. And the acting skills of Tanya Roberts.
Gifted thespian.
First showed up in Charlie's Angels, as a matter of fact. Good job. Back to wrap the program after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Hayes Carline for Atlantic Infinity. If a new ride is on your radar, don't wait. Head to Atlantic Infinity today. This is hot. For a limited time, get 0% interest on new vehicles. When is the last time you saw that offer? Plus, with every new purchase, you'll get the Atlantic Infinity Promise. That's nearly $2,500 in added value free. No pressure, just smart timing. They're on Atlantic near St. John's Bluff, or shop anytime at AtlanticInfinity.com.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Get this thing unwrapped here. Duval!
Praz, what in the world are you doing working on your Duval?
That's right, Dan. I really identify with Duval.
You live in St. John's County, knucklehead.
I mean the Duval sub, the Daily Stash Duval. Turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheeses. Lettuce, tomato, crispy and fresh, like me. I'm sure there's a Daily Stash sub that sums you up.
The boss.
Because, of course,
oven roasted beef, Munster cheese, roasted mushrooms, caramelized onions. It's the boss of all subs. Only available for me.
That's just not true.
What do you mean? I walked in the other day, screamed, "You know it," and said, "A boss for a boss."
Well, no matter who you are, there is a Daily Stash sandwich or sub for you.
Go find yours. They may even make you a boss.
I'm sure they will, because it is Daily Stash.
Where more is better.
And you got that right.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentist and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental, with light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, 2 locations in Jacksonville.
Who says there's no free lunch? Join me, Prosser, and Jaguar and Gator legend Fred Taylor for free food and football talk Friday, August 8th at the Alhambra Theater. When you hear this...
Bye-bye! Brock Berry and Dill chasing a 90-yard run.
Be caller 28 to win a pair of tickets to a free lunch with Fred. Doors open at 11. Jags talk, Gators talk, football talk, including a 1-hour Q&A with Freddie T, and we're buying your lunch. Stay tuned for this sound to win your tickets.
Bye-bye! Brock Berry and Dill chasing a 90-yard run.
Courtesy courtesy of Jenkins Hyundai and Genesis of Jacksonville on Atlantic.
To catch more fish, you gotta think like a fish. Captain Kevin and the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show, reeled in by the Pest Pros at Royal Pest Services, and Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Thursday nights at 6
on 1010XL AM.
A new era of women's professional soccer has arrived. The Gainbridge Super League, redefining the game for the next generation. Sporting Jacks, the first ever pro women's team on the First Coast. Be there for history. Secure your tickets now at sportingjacks.com.
Frank Frangie here from my friend and insurance agent Craig Dewhurst. Craig has been helping families on the First Coast with their insurance needs for 25 years as your good neighbor and local State Farm agent. Now's a great time to review your insurance policies, whether you need auto, homeowners, or renter's insurance, or insurance for your golf cart, boat, or jet skis. Craig handles all of my family's insurance needs, and even better, he gives back to the community. Call Craig today at 904-940-9740. That's 904-940-9740.
Lauren Brooks here from Helmets and Heels. Circa Resort and Casino has 2 epic pro football contests, Circa Million and Circa Survivor. Circa Million, pick 5 games weekly against the spread for $1 million grand prize. Circa Survivor, 1 pick a week, no spread. Last one standing wins $15 million. Enter at any Circa in Nevada, play anywhere. Sign up for either and get 50% off a 2-night stay. Helmets and Heels will be live from Circa in Vegas on August 22nd. Full contest details at circasports.com and the 1010XL homepage.
Hi, folks. I'm Frank Frangie, and I got to tell you, I can't fix anything. I would be so lost with plumbing problems if not for Duck Duck Rooter. But everybody knows to call the Duck. Well, I do too. Whether it's plumbing, air conditioning, septic, they handle all of it, and nobody does a better job than our friends at Duck Duck Rooter. Any of those needs you have, call them today, 904-862-6769, or go to duckduckrooter.com. If you've got problems, call Duck Duck Rooter. They'll handle it. I guarantee it.
Joint replacement surgery is always a tough decision, but relief from chronic pain may be just around the corner. Dr. George Barry here, and there's a lot to consider to make sure you get the proper diagnosis and best path back to the range of motion and mobility you had. Age, lifestyle, and overall health all play a part. Let the team at Barry Orthopedics give you a full analysis to help you make the best decision. Log on to BarryOrthopedics.com or call the office to make an appointment. With offices across Jacksonville and ready to help you feel good again, we'll get you back on the road to recovery at Barry Orthopedics.
Summer's calling, and Jenkins Hyundai of Jacksonville is ready to answer. Cruise through sun-filled days in a stylish new Tucson, pack the family into a spacious Santa Fe, or explore our selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. Find hot deals on Hyundais backed by our exclusive nationwide lifetime warranty. Jenkins Hyundai of Jacksonville.com. Visit us on Atlantic Boulevard. For all life's journeys, Jenkins Hyundai of Jacksonville is here. Welcome to the family. Offer subject to change. See dealer for details.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
All right, where we've been in the course of the program today, Lee Smith joined us. We talked a little golf. Certainly enjoyed that as we get closer to the season's end. Trayvon Walker was a subject of Hayes' one-on-one. We talked about that. We talked SEC, ACC, and all that conference stuff. We talked about that, and we'll get you ready tonight for a just mammoth ball game when the Lions and the Chargers get together. Throw those records out the window.
That's right. This could be a Super Bowl preview.
Yeah, it could be. We didn't talk much about the deadline. I guess that JJ, I guess there's a lot going on, but when the Braves aren't good and there's not like a judge or someone like that moving, I guess for listeners, it's if you're not a diehard,
it's Cedric Mullins to the Mets.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Or Bednar to the Yankees.
Yeah, that's kind of what it is.
Yeah.
There's just not a lot of stuff.
Not huge names.
Yeah. So if you're not a diehard, there's not. So,
but names that make the difference come October for sure.
That's right. So anyways, all right. So we'll be here 2 to 4 every Thursday tomorrow. Tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel. But you and I will be live from the stadium.
That's right. That'll be fun.
We will do our show. We're doing Hayes and I will be live from the stadium, getting you ready for Jags and Jags. Showdown between the Jags and the Jags. But I am excited about it. I'm excited about the scrimmage. I'll bet a lot of people go. Now again, we'll kind of coach you during our show at least, and throughout the course of the day on the radio station. But certainly during our show, we'll kind of coach you up a little bit on parking, but I think it'll be. I don't know a lot about. There is construction going on down there, and that's going to be the season now. That it is a year of construction That's just how it is, So we'll certainly try and coach people up as best we can about that.
Yeah, and without a doubt, and everybody I think understands that the reward for that in 2028 is going to be extraordinary when the stadium is renovated and
That's
opened.
right.
So it's just growing pains that we have to kind of get through, but we'll do it. And yeah, it should be fun. I think it's going to be a really fun environment. I will say I've been, if you haven't seen them practice yet, I think. And who knows how they'll perform in one practice and mock game in the stadium. But I think you're going to see more encouraging signs, and you're going to see signs of things that are going to concern you. I think that they have gotten off to a good start in camp on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, to that end, the players you notice are the guys with the ball in their hand, and they got a lot of those. I think that's what stands out. I think we've talked ad nauseum about the receivers between whether it's De'Ami Brown or Brian Thomas Jr. or Travis Hunter. Parker Washington's had a really good camp. The added tight ends have been pretty good, and we all love the running back room. Good to see Bashil Tootin back on the field, by the way.
Yes.
So I think, to your point, Hayes, I think when you have a lot of guys who are good with the ball, that's what excites people. And I think that's what they've got. They got to get a lot of guys that are good with the ball. So I do get the impression that part will be, I think that part will be good. And so, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to watch. It really will. And again, here's my guess, and I don't know that they know yet. But my guess is you're not going to see a lot of the stars in the preseason. I'd be surprised if you see, honestly, Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter's got to play. But, I mean, Brian Thomas Jr. and De'Ami Brown and Murray and Jordan Lewis and Tyson Campbell and the two defensive ends. And I'd be surprised if you see much of them at all the preseason. Wouldn't you? A handful of plays maybe? Trevor, does Trevor play much?
Yeah, we were talking about this today at practice. I would say, like, for Travis Hunter, like, you do want him to experience playing on both sides of the ball in a preseason game, but it's going to be awfully quick. I mean, it might be like 6 snaps on offense, and then the defense comes on the field and he plays like 5 snaps, and then that's it, and he's done for the day. But I think in his case, it's important in an actual preseason game against an opponent for him to do that at least one time before you get to week 1. But yeah, I wouldn't think Trevor Lawrence. I think that's going to be 5% of the offensive snaps in the preseason will be Trevor Lawrence snaps. I think he'll play, but it will be very sparse.
How many games do you think he'll play?
2 of the 3.
Okay. You do think he'll play 2?
I would think.
And you must mean a couple snaps, handful, like a quarter, like they used
drive or 2,
like maybe one drive in the Steelers game, and then the second game maybe you play him a quarter.
Yeah, they usually count,
and then nothing in the.
They generally, at least with Doug Peterson, they would count plays. 15 plays one game, 25 the next, none the third. That would be sort of the. Or whatever, or maybe Doug played him in the third and not the second. But that would be. I also can tell you most teams don't play guys when they practice, when they have joint practices.
Right.
Now they're only having one joint practice. Not only one team, but only one joint practice. They're practicing one time with the Dolphins.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see. But
hopefully next year they can get a couple of. It's obviously it's not only in the Jaguars' control. It's got to line up right, and you got to have a partner.
Yeah,
but yeah, I was disappointed that they're only having one total joint practice. That's the lowest number that this organization's had in several years.
I can also tell you, it looks like I was going to be wrong.
Outside of COVID, obviously.
Right, I was convinced, Hayes, that by next year, by the 26th season, it would be 18 regular season games and 2 preseason games. Well, obviously, we've gone this far now that I doubt it'll be next year. Usually there'd be at least some whispers at the owners' meetings that we were headed to that. There's no doubt that that's what the league wants. There's no doubt it's what the commissioner wants. There's no doubt that that's what the owners want. But the players' union is going to push on this one. Now they're going to push, and in an era where CTE, and Guardian helmets and player safety is talked about more than ever and emphasized more than ever. It's hard in that climate to add another game that matters, isn't it? And I think that's what the fight is right now.
I honestly think as long as the league gives them a second bye week, which they'll do, because I think it actually works out better for the league to do it that way, because then you're ending the Super Bowl is on a 3-day weekend for most people. So, I mean, I think you give the players a second bye week. Obviously, they're going to get more revenue, which is the main thing they care about. So they'll probably scale back the OTAs a little bit for them. So I do think we'll get there. And I think we'll get there with a relatively little amount of pain. But the league's got to include that second bye week for the athletes. And my guess is they'll be cognizant of that and be willing to do it.
It's also got to take that. The first step is it's got to make the narrative. It almost hasn't really been introduced yet. It's floated, but I thought by next year you would hear an announcement. There's 18 regular season games and 2 preseason games. Because again, nobody doubts that that's where it's going to land. But and then once it lands there, it won't change. They're not going to add. They'll never add more than 18 games. That's a lot of games. And so I think it'll land there. And then you'll have a home and away preseason game. That's what you'll have. You have one home, one away, and you'll. My guess is in that setting, you will play nobody in the first one, and then everybody plays a quarter or so in the second, and that's it. That's it. I mean, again, I tell people this all the time, and even I got to look back to remember this because I was even really young. You used to have 6. Do you know that?
That's crazy.
You used to have 6 preseason games.
That's when these guys were,
yeah,
driving trucks and doing other jobs.
Well, that's right.
Starters play like the multiple like how would that work?
I don't remember.
They played the whole game.
Yeah.
But they weren't. They were doing regular. They weren't making crazy money.
Right. They had all season jobs.
So they had literally they had to get into shape to play.
And there were like 12 games.
6.
It still feels like a way too many.
There were 6 preseason games
and 12 regular seasons.
In 12, right? It was 12 and 6. That's what it used to be. 12. It was 12, and then
seems like a whole different world.
It was, and when they went to 14, they went to 4, right? And I think 14 and 4, and then 16 and 4.
It was always 4 when I was a kid until the recent changes.
Yeah, but it was for the longest time.
But I can't imagine 6. Boy, that would have been a nightmare to cover.
There used to be a lot of neutral site games. I told you when I was a really little kid, I remember the Jets and the 49ers played here, and Joe Namath versus John Brody. My dad took me to the game. We were so excited. Namath played 1 series. He threw it down and out to Eddie Bell. That's all he had. I still remember it. 1 series. I was so excited. We waited all summer to go see Joe Namath play 1 series. Folks, that's our program. Don't go anywhere, though. Jaguar programming is next. Jaguar Happy Hour. JP Shadrick and Jeff Lagerman have it for you. That comes up right now. We'll see you tomorrow at 4 o'clock. For Hayes and JJ, I'm Frank Frangie. So long.